Since 12th of April 1945, when Harry S. Truman was inaugurated as the President of the U.S., every single other president of the U.S. made Billy Graham his pastor. President Harry S. Truman himself said concerning Billy's character that this man lives by the Sermon on the Mount. His successor, President Dwight Eisenhower, said that Billy is one of the best ambassadors America has ever had, although Billy himself says he's an ambassador of heaven. His successor, President John F. Kennedy, 4 days to his inauguration, invited Billy Graham at Palm Beach, where they spent an entire day praying for the nation together. His successor, President Lyndon Johnson, invited Billy Graham in excess of 20 times in the White House and several times in their family ranch. Every time Billy Graham would say, "Let us pray," the president would go on his knees in honor of God's name. The man who took after him, President Richard M. Nixon, said that he met Billy in the 1950s. In fact, when President Nixon was hit by the Watergate scandal, he didn't want Billy Graham to be tarred by the scandal, and he asked his staff not to allow Billy to come during that menace. Imagine a president trying to protect a preacher's character. The man who took after him, President Gerald Ford, he said that the visits of Billy Graham in the White House were get-together of old friends. They had no single political, economic, or other benefits. After that came President Jimmy Carter, and he said that they met together when he was governor of Georgia, and Billy visited him in the governor's mansion. And he said his character is beyond reproach, it's beyond suspicion. Afterwards came President Ronald Reagan, who met Billy 1 year after he married his wife Nancy. On the attempted assassination on the life of President Ronald Reagan, 30th of March, 1981, Billy flew to the White House to pray with and console Mrs. Nancy Reagan. After that came President George H. Bush. And Billy says that this is the president he found easiest to share spiritual matters with. On the eve of the first Gulf War, 17th of January 1991, Billy was there with George and Barbara Bush praying for the nation, praying with them. After that came President Bill Clinton, who met Billy Graham in Little Rock crusades when he was a little boy at the age of 12. And Bill Clinton later said he realized in Billy's crusades, people were never segregated all along on racial ground, even when racism was at its peak at the United States. He never segregated whether a president was a Democrat or a Republican. And for that cause, he decided to make him his personal pastor. After that came George W. Bush, who says that he met Billy Graham long before he was president in 1985 at Main Beach. That's about northeast of the U.S. And that was the turning point in his spiritual life. After him came the incumbent, President Barack Obama, who went a step further in April 2010 and visited an aging Billy Graham, who is currently 97 years of age. He visited him in his own Montreat home, North Carolina, prayed with him, and sought for spiritual guidance. If you are following what I was saying, I described all the U.S. presidents from 1945 to 2016, and all of them chose Billy Graham to be their pastor. When shall men of character rise up? And you know, character is the ability to carry out a good resolution long after the emotion of the moment is past. Let me say that one more time. Character is the ability to carry out a good resolution long after the emotion at which that decision was made is past. You see, while motivation gets us going, character keeps us going. You see, your reputation is fragile. It's reconstructing a building. It will take you many years to put up a building, but just a few minutes to utterly ruin it. Guard your reputation with your life. But while reputation is what others think about you, character is who you truly are. Character is what you do when you think no one is watching you. You see, the force of character is cumulative. Character is the composite of our daily habits. Because they are consistent and conscious patterns, they daily express our character. Let me suggest tonight, while men of genius are admired, men of wealth are envied, men of power are feared, only men of character are trusted. While beauty catches the eye, Character catches the heart. Attention without preparation leads to self-destruction. Has your gift taken you to places where your character cannot keep you? I've seen celebs, especially in the music industry, the media industry, shine one day and the next moment they are totally ruined because they were not prepared to handle the glory. You see, while your gifts will take you to the public limelight, your character will anchor your foundation. Your character will be your check and balance. You see, talents are gifts, but character is not something given to us. It is something we deliberately develop, piecemeal, block by block. It is not a gift. It's a deliberate, conscious effort. You've got to plan to be a man or a woman of character. It is President Thomas Jefferson who prayed, "Oh God, grant us that our principal men will be men of principle."